Inhale love and exhale laughter. Inhale love and exhale laughter. I'm a Laughastè in my highest vibration. Laughastè in my highest vibration. Inhale love and exhale laughter. Inhale love and exhale laughter. I'm a Laughastè in my highest vibration. Laughastè in my highest vibration. Inhale love, inhale love, inhale love, in vibration. Exhale laughter.
All right. Yes. Laughastè family, Laughastè. Welcome. Let me gather myself together. Oowee, let me Laughastè, because even the most blissful life can be stressful. Welcome to the HEALariously podcast with me, Melanin Bee, your favorite multidimensional edutainer and certified somatic laugh yogi. It is about to be another hilariously healing, healthy, high vibrational, divinely guided, righteous, and raw, authentic episode. And I am so grateful that you are here. If you are listening with your ear chakras, that means you are tapped in on a podcast platform. So whatever podcast platform you are listening, please do me a divinely guided favor. Laugh, like, comment, share. Let me know you were there. If you're on Spotify, which is where I be at, I would love to see you in the comment chakras, subscribe, and add it to your favorites. Add it to your favorites. If you are watching with your eye chakras and you can see me on YouTube, because that's what the visuals is going to be, the long form, subscribe. Notification on us on. Laugh, like, comment, share. Let me know you were there. I give thanks in advance, honey. This is the HEALariously podcast, and I am Melanin Bee, your divinely guided hostess with the absolute high vibrational mostest, and I'm so grateful. We're gonna start this off the hilarious way, honey, tapping in. So we gotta set the tone. We gotta set the tone to vibrate on the frequency of joy, honey, because over here we honor joy as a vibration, not an emotion, honey. We stay on the we do our best to allow ourselves to vibrate on the frequency by choosing to laugh and stay out loud, honey, releasing everything that doesn't serve our highest vibration. So I'm gonna pull a divinely guided card chakra, call upon, and just see where we can utilize more laughter into our lives, honey. You already know it could be utilized as a game, as a divination, because the biggest game is life, and we all playing it, honey. Stay in tune with y'all star player. Let's see what Laughastè out loud got to say. Laughastè, how y'all healing? How y'all feeling? I'm reporting. This is my first time doing a divine duel. Reporting live. So anybody put any questions or anything in the comment chakras, I can't reply. Not until the end, so you can save them. It's going to be only 35 minutes. So let me go ahead and get started right now, because I got a lot we got to laugh about, honey. Oh, Superior. You better come here and get you one of these. Superior. That's a classic LA meme, honey. Superior. Yes, let's tap in what the superior vibes is healing about, honey. Superior. Let me see. I gotta let me look this up, because I don't know it all by heart. So we about to see what spirit is telling us about superior laugh, honey. What is we holding on superior laugh? This is from Laughastè Out Loud, my hilarious card game and modality, honey. Tapping in therapeutic laughter, but right now we're utilizing it as a divination tool to assist us, just to see where we can utilize more laughter in our lives, because laughter is the best medicine. So let's apply with purpose, intentionally, and utilize it as such. Superior laugh, the meaning, ooh, ego creeping in, masking insecurity with shade. The message, this laugh can feel smug or sassy, but deep down is coming from a wound that wants to be validated. This card invites you to check yourself gently, ooh, where you are laughing at others to avoid looking within. The real power comes from softening. Throwing that intentional shade, but it's coming right back at you. Oowee. The activation, place your hand over your heart, inhale peace, and laugh like you're on a throne, but then let it melt into giggles of humility. You ain't got to prove it, not even to yourself. Respect. The affirmation, my worth is not above or below anyone else, but I am better than low vibrational situations. Ooh, respect. Oh, that's deep. Respect right there, because as you're leveling up in life, some of the places where you met certain people, you know, it can make you feel, oh, that's people pleasing. And it can show up in ways where you can be throwing slight shade at somebody else's situation, but you met them in that same space and place. And just because maybe you leveled up in your journey, now you may be throwing shade Or, I don't know, let me retract that, because I feel like you are somewhere in a situation, because I've had this happen before, or you in a situation where you may be entertaining something that you know you may be above, but you are entertaining it, and you're around people that are actually genuine cool people, because it's not about the people, it's about the situations. Because you got people who do things that may be low vibrational, or may do things that's not in alignment with you, but that does not make them a bad person. So you could be throwing shade thinking that you are better than the person, but you're actually doing the same thing on the same vibration. But if you can level up in life without thinking that you're better than somebody, but you're better than the situation that they are in and that you are in as well. Yeah, I've done that plenty of times. I've actually have somebody right now that is somewhat of a friend of mine who's feeling that type of way. We were both struggling together, houseless together, and she has no child. I have a child. She's still struggling and houseless. Moving around on her journey, but sometimes I'm like, damn, you didn't want to get in the bag that I tried to show you, because you felt like you was above making money this way, even though it was not nothing bad. It was just, something that she felt was not in alignment with her highest self. But, what's not in alignment with my highest self is out here begging when I can just ask God and walk in purpose. If it's non-actual funds being exchanged for just a glance of a foot chakra, I'm gonna show it. A little wiggle. This little pinky went to the market, get your bag. But if you gonna talk about somebody and then turn around and ask to borrow money from something that they got, doing something that you feel like you better than, how's that? So there that is. Yes, because she may be superior than how I may have got my bag, but I'm more superior, I guess, than having to beg, and ask. Because I have something called hyper independence anyway. So I would rather, God won't let me go without. That's why I'm so grateful for my relationship with God, the creator, because God be like, you ain't going to ask for no help. You ain't going to open up your mouth chakra. So now I got to send divine. Then they said the visibility of my life is about to be decreased. Like I try to keep it low, in alignment TikTok, but this is just for recording purposes, so y'all can be here how we healing, Laughastè. But anyway, so so that's just hilarious. So the card is superior. Don't throw shade at somebody, because you feel like you're better than that situation when y'all are in similar, vibrations. It's just the perspective is different. And I don't have nothing against her, but the way, somebody tried to shade you and then turn around and borrow from you is crazy diabolical. And I don't think I'm better than her, because I was in that situation where she is right now. But, I guess sometimes I ask God before I ask a person, and I try to put down for how they get in their bag. But anyway, that's the card, superior. Where you need to tap in. Where do you need to, know your worth is not above anybody else's, but it's better than low vibrational situations. And whatever you consider to be a low vibrational situation can be based on your perspective. Some people don't want to put be out there a little walking purpose energy. I don't want to say too much, because clearly that's it's still hot out here. The person that turned me on, thank you, honey. It changed my life immediately upon arrival. I wish I would have looked down on her after she told me how to get in this bag. Released and received, honey. Released any projection, received the prosperity placed upon. But anyway, let me get started, honey. That ain't what we really wanted to talk about. I done pulled that little Cardiana and the one on a little Tangiana. So let me get in alignment, because it's a lot that we're going to be laughing about on this HEALariously Wealth podcast, and we about to do it all in under 45 minutes, honey. So let me get started. And I want to say welcome back. This is a Divinely Guided Raw turn. It's so hilarious that I know that I'm in divine alignment, because the last episode that I was going to release for the HEALariously Wealth podcast was going to be in March of 2025. And now here it is, almost March of 2026, a year later. And I'm back at it. And the last episode that I released to the collective was February 25th of 2025. And a lot has happened since then. I turned 40. I turned 40. That was something else. Not even just turning the age, but what comes with turning 40 in your mind, and how I was shocked. Honestly, a part of me is shocked to still be alive. I don't know why. But I, heal with that every day. I guess because you don't guess, be honest. This is a safe space. I've experienced so much in my life, not even just, I'm not talking about no childhood trauma. I'm just talking about the things that I've experience on my own accord that I've put myself through. Had to go through to grow through, even if it was unintentional, intentional, unnecessary. Because I do sometimes feel like I experience unnecessary trials and tribulations due to resistance to growth because of certain subconscious biological situations that are in my body trapped that don't never get triggered until a situation happens. And then I'd be like, oh, damn, I can heal that up. So it's been 40 hit different. 40 hit different. And being that I am plant-based and eating healthy, I'm grateful for that because that's what has preserved my facial chakra because it looks good to be 40. Honey, the skin is skinning. I don't even look like what I've been through, but that's God's hand. But turning 40 did a lot on my mental. Leading up to my actual solar return, I cried a lot, woke up a lot in the middle of the night, woke up feeling transitioned, but I was alive because I was up. But it just felt like it in my body. It was just like, it was so much going on in my crown chakra. My brain was just moving so fast. And also, I had to really realize that I can't move how I have been moving. I had to move different. So it was a lot of different things that just came into fruition, into my vortex that I had to actually pay attention to. And I'm not saying when you get older, as you age, you become weak or anything like that. No, it's about how you take care of yourself. I'm still in good health. It's just about the healing biologically. The way you got to maintenance your body. It's a vehicle. It's a vehicle. So, and I'm also 9 months sober. 9 months sober for me, that's a big deal because I didn't even go 9 months sober when I was with child. Oh, let me Laughastè on that one because that's hilarious. The fact that I didn't even go 9 months sober when I was with child, but I'm going 9 months sober now. That's the thing. Children do not change you. It just assists you to make the changes that is necessary. And because that's why you got moms, dads out here still on drugs and still do things that is not, conducive to their optimal parenting. But yes, 9 months sober. I'm grateful for that. But I realized that I have been compensating for the liquor. And I've been overeating, gluttonous. That's something that we don't talk about. You put down one addiction and pick up another. It's hilarious. And I already knew I had a food addiction. I already knew because food and liquor, 420, all those type of things that keep your body overstimulated, that are coping tools, feed you and numb you. I realized that I had a lot of different ways to cope that were not necessarily healing and was hindering to me. Because your body, it does function different when you get a certain age. Your body, you got to take better care of it and be more mindful. I can't just eat kettle chips how I used to or binge on chickpea puffs and things like that. Like it made me sluggish. It was like really tired on a level. It was like, oh, this is medical. Your eyes is big, your body is sluggish, your energy levels is down. You pushing forward is lethargic, out of alignment. You not being the best version of yourself. So I was like, either you going to and I don't know, I've never gained weight, so I'm not a big person, but I was so big on the inside. So then I started to get pimples on my face. It was a lot. So anyway, I'm still not drinking, but being mindful now to this day, February 22nd. Yeah. Oh, come on, February 22nd of my eating habits, honey, because there's something else. And then food ain't even been tasting the same because I just, no, you do know. Let's be honest. Because you're not allowing yourself to get the rest that you need digestive-wise. So you can have... how you got to take a tolerance break when it comes to 420. Your body need a tolerance break to enjoy food how it used to. Now you just kind of maybe stuffing it on top. I've experienced things I've never experienced before in my digestive. I was like, oh my God, girl. What is you doing, Buka Bud? Still celibate. I don't know how I'm still here. Nah, yeah, you do. I tried. I'm not anti-celibacy. It has not been meant for me as of lately. So there's been a lot of things that I've been masking and healing with food. But it's life. I'm not perfect. I'm in purpose. I've been having to laugh at myself, Laughastè at my own self to maintain my vibration, because I still got to show myself grace, because so many things that are happening, like I've never experienced 7 years of celibacy, 9 months of sobriety. So it's like I didn't know how my body, my mind was going to be functioning at where I'm at right now. How you can even just subconsciously be on autopilot when you're maneuvering in these old habits, especially when you're leveling up in life. I've been doing a lot of leveling up, and with every level up, it's been subconscious setbacks, and you don't even know how many steps you took back because you dancing, you moving and grooving, but then you realize, like, damn, I'm off the beat a little bit. So I was like, okay, let me get in alignment. But see how I'm finding humor in my healing? I'm not out here trying to be perfect. I just want to be the perfect version of myself, the best that I can be for me. So yeah, that was a little moment of vulnerability, and I don't mind having that, because you can't be out here faking and fawning and performing, not being honest with yourself. And being that I do have a platform, and I like telling my hilarious story to assist people to find humor within it, to assist them to find humor in theirs as well. The relatability of the things that I experienced on my journey, how my testimony can be a inspiration for other people, So I'm proud of myself. My eating habits and how I eat, even being, plant-based, because I'm not vegan. I gave that up. I'm not vegan anymore. I am not vegan anymore. I left that in 2025. I left that with the Black Vegan Spiritual Comedy Tour. And, I went on tour even after the last time we talked last year. I had just started it. I was just going to Houston and Philly last time we spoke. Matter of fact, it was this right here. That's crazy. It was this right here. The Black Vegan Spiritual Comedy Tour. Maybe I learned a lot on that tour about what is these healthy vegan restaurants. Honey, on the outside, the name is healthy, and the inside, everything. And I'm not talking about nobody in particular. I went to a few different spots. I don't want nobody to be like, damn, was he talking about me? I don't know how to say anything without being, because we got to do better. But I know everybody's levels to everything. I'm not here to project upon. I'm not here to tell nobody how to maneuver. I just want to say that I'm grateful and thankful for, every stop that I was able to stop at. Everybody that welcomed me. Everybody that embraced me. Everybody that let me hold safe space for my hilarious family to pull up and get this hilarious comedy. But it was just some things I was like, wow. Yeah. It's like Black vegans, we season the shit out of our food. We, it's still a little bit unhealthy in certain areas. Caucasian people, they're not seasoning their food at all. They eating a lot of soy and a lot of tofu. And where is the middle? You got your alkalines, which I love. I appreciate alkaline, because it's the best for the body if you really want to do it for healing. But I don't want to be full. I'm not full alkaline, so I just feel like I still have balance within myself. But anyway, yeah, it's just baby, it's been a lot healing on in these spiritual healing that finally got at high vibrational streets. And speaking of the streets, let me stay in alignment with my notes, honey. Y'all know I got keep notes on deck. I got to keep these notes on deck, because that's how I'm going to stay in alignment with this timing that I'm placing upon myself, because my throat chakra can be active, because with the tour, I realized I was having an identity shift in how I wanted to portray myself when it came to eating a certain way, and not even because I feel like some people, what you want to say, they're like, oh, I don't know if you would eat this because it may be like a beyond and impossible. And then sometimes I would just, because I didn't want to be rude, I'm like, oh no, I'm fine. But in my mind, it was like, girl, you don't eat this. You really do not eat this. And so sometimes I would just take the food back to my hotel room and just not even eat it, or I'll give it away to a homeless person. But it's like, why just you not say that in that moment? Your people pleasing skills runs too deep. But then it's like, I felt like I was like, I don't want to be confrontational. It ain't that deep. But then at the same time, I was like, girl, you can speak your truth. I don't eat that. It's cool. So yeah, that was a lot. It was a lot of see how that people pleasing skills show up in different areas, and then they're looking for you to do a food review, and then you ain't got no review because you never ate the food, and then now that relationship is weird. So that's something too, like it's always a consequence to everything, something that may not be that big of a deal. Because then when I did a food review, it was kind of hilarious. It was no shade, but it was just also an actual real moment for me to tell my truth. It tastes very ancestrally seasoned. It tastes slightly diabetical. It tastes like high blood pressure. It tastes like hypertension. It tasted like, Lawry's. It tasted like it had a lot of Big Mama arm fat in there. It had 2 arm fats in there just going, just like this. Somebody need to let them ancestors speak. Because I know they, they don't say nothing, but they whisper. It's a slight, gentle whisper, but we got to start listening. Because I'm all about some seasoned food as well, but baby, that season does not have to compensate for what you're trying to make. But I'm going to talk about that later on in a different episode, honey. I'm going to release that with a chance of a re-entry in divine order, because we got to talk about that, honey. Yes, because who I'm becoming now, I'm already, I feel like, you ever try some food, you're like, oh, it's good, they don't need no more seasoning. That's where I'm at. I'm so seasoned that I don't need anything extra. Let me intentionally sip. So yeah, I'm just really positive. You see, I took the crown chakra adornments off. I'm giving myself 30 days just being present. And I've been wearing my natural hair. It's not nothing new. I know some people probably like, damn, I thought your hair was big. It is. You know how black hair do too. It shrinks. It's multidimensional. But as I'm just becoming me, just stripping away anything that I thought I needed, I feel like I did this when I went through my Saturn return, 28 to 30. Now I'm 40 and I'm doing it again. So, everything goes in cycles too as well. So, yeah, I love my 9 ether coils. I really do. Let me check my nose chakras, honey. Yes. So, oh snap, I'm here with it. I'm healing with it. We outside with it. I love being in divine alignment. So let's talk about, being in divine alignment and being outside with it. And these Babylonian streets, because we're going to wrap it up like a universal condom, very divinely guided, very protected. It's a lot healing on in the world today. And I want to leave the collective with this message. Joy is a superpower. And we're joyful, not a joke. Just because you may not be reacting or responding how people think you should, it's because your body knows, your inner sovereign knows that you need to govern your own emotions and not allow the world to project upon you any fear or any narrative of how you need to show up on your journey. A lot of people are saying, oh, the world is going crazy. The world is doing this. To me, in my personal opinion, low key, the world has always been a place of mischievous, diabolical behavior. I just feel like it's more aware. People are talking about it more. Shout out to the millennials. Because there's a lot of things that I didn't even know that I didn't even know that I knew that I didn't know, but I knew, if that makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, 'cause some things just, as millennials, when I think about all the stuff we were taught, not taught, a lot of things didn't sit right. So shout out to those who are out here doing research and just looking, at the world from a lens of, curiosity and being a questioner and a disruptor of this chaotic, corrupt system. Because it ain't never been right. So, I can't now, because I know people like, damn, you ain't been talking about a lot of things that go on in the world. My opinion matters too a little bit. I know it does, but it's not going to change too much of what really need to be changed. The change need to be so radical and so dramatic that, it's going to take the world to shift collectively together. And it's not a lot of people doing that. That's why they don't, shut certain people down that are out here with these big platforms talking about certain things that they will feel is it feel out is like classified information, because they know that we only gonna be angry for a little bit. And I personally don't have time or don't want to create space to talk about things that I've been talking about for 10 plus years. I done moved past certain things. Now I'm just focusing on maintaining my joyful vibration, maintaining my low cortisol levels, creating generational wealth, my legacy in this crazy, chaotic, corrupt world. Staying calm. And also being able to ride the wave. But not denying and not being naive. I'm joyful, not a joke. I know there's things going on. So I got to properly prepare my intermediate family, myself. Some people want people to post and do things for the collective in the world, but then they don't even, because they just want to see it. Their ego want to feel like, oh, this person that I'm attached to online has this certain opinion, and they want to just hear it. But, if you are here with me, we already vibrate on similar frequencies. I don't agree with a lot of this stuff that's going on, but I started out as a super strong critical thinker, aka a conspiracy theorist. And I just don't care to be back on that frequency. A lot of energy come along with that. You know, I just like, what? Damn, people were talking about what I've been talking about for years. I had homies talking to me about this before my son was born. So I'm just grateful that people are still talking about it. The world is finding out. But some of the stuff that we finding out now is way deeper than what I even was learning about. And I have a whole episode called, Oh, We Woke. We woke. And I can't wait to talk about that, honey, because it's the stuff that we learned as millennials. Baby, it's mind-blowing to realize that, man, it's crazy. TikTok will have you out here learning stuff every day. And then you got to make a conscious decision on what side you're going to be on. You're going to adhere, because just because you discover that, I mean, you got to fully receive it, but you don't need to deny it as well. It is what it is. Sometimes we take this world personal. And we can't do that. You can't take the world personal. But I just wanted to just say that, joy is a vibration and it must be maintained in order for you to have a positive perspective of how you viewing life and what's going on in this world. Earth is earthing. I'm pretty sure other planets are watching us like, damn, they down there cutting up. And we are. We are. Well, all the information that we just found out, it is not enough people in the world going, getting upset about it. So why am I about to, not saying that it wouldn't make a difference, but you got to be mindful of your energy. You got to be mindful of your energy. That's what I will say. Because it's so important to Laughastè and put some respect. Respectfully speaking, put that respect on your journey, on your Ra incarnation, on what you remember, what you know. Honey, it's okay to rejoice and still be present in the presence that's being presented to you despite what's going on in the world today. Yeah, so we about to wrap it up like a universal condom. I wanted to just, we tapped in on some few things over here. This is episode number 1. Just want to get a little hilarious catch up. Let me know how we've been out here healing. How we about to continue to move forward. Thank you to those who are watching on the live stream. I know they had restricted my flow because I said something that they felt was controversial. That's okay. I'm not tripping. But yes, I would love to recommend to the collective that y'all pull up and get a copy of my guide, Respectfully Speaking. The autograph copy is only going to be available until February 28th, which that is pulling up very soon. I did put my signature chakra upon it. This is the Ra language reference guide. I taught the Ra language class February 4th, in honor of the remembrance of Father Ra speaking life into our vortex. I'm going to go ahead and just read an excerpt, a blurb from the Respectfully Speaking, a culturally spiritual language guide inspired by Sun Energy of Ra and Melanin Bee lexicon, honey. So if you want to be out here learning how to speak Chakranese, it is a digital download. You can download this and print it out. You can print it out. Most definitely recommend that you print it out because you're going to laugh, you're going to learn, you're going to laugh, you're going to rock call, and you're going to highlight some things because you can utilize this as a tool, a modality. So I recommend that you get 2 copies because you got to put one up as a collector's item because the signature chakra is classic. It's legacy. It's going to be worth money one day. You're going to be like, wow, I forgot I had the Ra language reference guide. You're going to be dusting it off and it's going to be worth money. So put it in some plastic because it's going to be worth money one day. So yes, get 2 copies, download it, print it out. And then after February, what will be available is without the signature. But I really recommend, I would love the collective to have the autograph copy. But this is not slang. It's not a trend. It's an intentional language activation to assist you to learn how to speak into your vortex life. But the Ra language is a vibrational way of speaking that infuses everyday words with light, alignment, and conscious intention, rooted in ancestral knowing, spiritual awareness, and modern day melanated expression. Because you already know culture is centered around how we speak, how we talk, our slang, our divine vocal expressions. We make up the culture, and this is for the culture. This is for the lineage. It's not even learning anything new. It's a remembrance. So I highly recommend that you pull up and get your Divinely Guided copy. Honey, it's a downloadable. It is able to be printed out. Get your copy. I recommend that you get two. I keep saying that, but you're going to want to have one where you're going to highlight, you're going to laugh, you're going to learn. The reason why I say laugh, because you're going to be like, oh, because you got to laugh at some things. Laughter is medicine. And you're not laughing because it's like, oh, this is silly, this is trivial. You're laughing because some of this stuff is going to hit home. And you're going to need to, really Laughastè and hug and heal and take your medicine, your daily dose. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, honey. Because when you think about some of the things that's in here, I'm going to go ahead and just tap into the Respect. This is the first word. Because everything is also chronologically in alignment. Like you start with the Respect, then you move into the Raleigh, and then you go into Remember. So everything is in chronological order. Shout out to Katrina. I keep calling her Kendra. It's Katrina. She bestowed us with the 9 laws of Ra. So she's now in the guide. And so she's a lifetime HEALarious family member, whether she know it or not. So yes, like Respect, every word has a meaning. It has to move with Respect is to when to use Respect, the body awareness, and to how to use it, how to utilize each word. So I highly recommend that you tap in. It's really a modality, and it comes with a affirmation at the end. The Respect affirmation is: I move with respect for myself and others. My boundaries are loving. My presence is honorable. Respect, honey. Yeah. So let me just give you more insight. To move with respect is to honor your time, honor your energy, honor your truth, and honor others without self-betrayal. Honor others without self-betrayal. That goes back into to people-pleasing. You don't people-please when you respect yourself and when you respect others. Because sometimes the truth that need to be told that you are masking and people-pleasing is not going to allow them room to grow and, expand in their journey. So you got to put some respect on how you are showing up so they can show up too. So you don't have to, honor someone with lies and deceit so they can feel comfortable in whatever they're doing. Because they could be just coming to you like, honestly, hey, what do you think about this? Tell the truth. If your friendship is that shaky, and not that sturdy, that's not a foundation you can be building upon. So respect is how you show up when you're aligned, not obligated. That's literally what I just said, but in a different way. Friendships are about being aligned. It's about being synergy. You're not obligated to people please. You're not, nobody's obligated. When I meet people too, you're not obligated to people please. You're not obligated to sugarcoat shit with me just because you see me online or you have this internet relationship with me. When I build with people personally, I always have to vet people because they'll show up, even if it's unconsciously, in a state of obligation. Oh, you're Melanin Bee, or you're Mama Melanin, whoop-de-woo-woo-woo. Girl, man, listen, we here, we building real friendship. I'm a divinely guided human being choosing to be here on earth just like you. I'm showing you respect me. Because it also is irritating slightly. Because I know, my light, and I know the power that's within me, the position that I hold, but it still does not mean that you are obligated to damn near kiss my ass or people please when you can't be comfortable being you. Tell me no, get me together. Something in my teeth. You're not obligated to make nobody feel comfortable to the point that you gotta lie. And it could be and I'm giving you minute situations because some people will, do small stuff like that. I had somebody that we went out to eat and they didn't want to go to the place, but they went because I just wanted you to be happy. If we could have went somewhere we both wanted to go and be happy. You're not obligated to eat where I want to eat just because I'm vegan. I am not the type of vegan that won't go somewhere that serves meat. It's just, see how, because it be small, minute, but it is building in your nervous system. So just imagine how many small pebbles end up making a trail. The beautiful trail at that, so just be honest with yourself. And I use myself as an example because I have came across that a couple of times, and I respect it though, but that's the difference between somebody who's in their ego trying to impress. I'm here to inspire, honey. Every person is an opportunity for you to show up on your journey. Yes, honey. And that's one thing I'm working on is being more honest and putting more respect on places that God is having me show up, and not feeling obligated to not be my authentic self in these spaces. You can, what is the word? You can camouflage, or you don't have to show up on a 10, but you gonna always be yourself. The foundation is there, you know? So yeah, how can I say that? Because I know I'm a lie. I don't have to be in certain places that always say raw and divinely got a decision-ana, complication-ana, you know, utilizing my chakra needs all the time and my raw language all the time, because it's within me. So if it's in you, it ain't on you. So just different things like that. Yeah, so yeah, it's been real. Raw Language Reference Guide, the Laughastè spray. You know, all of these are tools that I provide to the collective to assist them to maintain that Laughastè and to find humor in their healing, because it's so important on this journey to make sure that you have what you need to be successful. And when you learn something and then you begin to apply it to your life, that's where the wisdom come into play. You know, gaining all of this knowledge is for the application of when the opportunity presents itself. When the opportunity presents itself, oh, let me Laughastè and spray. Because I know a lot of people see me spray the Laughastè spray. And why do I use it? Because it's a sensory tool to assist me when I'm feeling overstimulated and I need to feel rooted and calm. A sense of calmness when I need to calm my nervous system. And what it does is it triggers my olfactory. You know, your olfactory is how the inhalation. It's in your nasal pathways. I want to say pathological. Somebody's lying. But it actually really does send signals to a part of your brain called the limbic. The limbic, Limbic. I always want to say limp biscuit. Damn. See, stuff like that. But it also helped me to remember the word. Because I was like, I've never used that word before. Limbic. You know, I was saying Olympic and limp biscuit. And that's how I was able to remember that. So, you know, neuroplasticity, laughing and learning, and being able to laugh and learn and be present in neuroplasticity takes vulnerability. I'm 40 years old and I'm learning a word that has Limbic, 6 letters. And it was so frustrating. That's one thing too. Like, you feel like at this big old age, I should stop saying that to a degree. Like, you can't say at this big old age to some things, but also at this big old age, if you were never really taught certain things, you don't know at all. So I never really was studying the brain in school. I bypassed school. I was on autopilot. I don't even know how I graduated. No. But anyway, you know, I just say, like, even, you know, the things that I provide to the collective and where I'm at on my journey, it assists me to heal certain parts of me and being able to be present on my journey of the triggers that need to be healed. Because I could have been like, girl, just say brain. But what part of the brain? If you know that it literally sends signals to a certain part of the brain, what part of the brain? Limbic. And you don't, because the reason why I'm saying this, because small things will make you say, you know what, fuck it, I'm not doing it. Fuck it, I'm not doing it. And it's like, why are you giving up? Because a small, you know, what is it, pebble? What is a goon to a goblin? As Little Wayne would say, you'll give up for the smallest things, but then think about the times where you sat there and pushed through and was in relationships with men or women that you should have gave up on at the first sign of a red flag. So I also say that because sometimes the things that we hold on to and give chance after chance and try to work things out is things that hinder us and hold us back. But the things that we need to put our energy and effort to that challenge us, which is called stress. It was kind of stressful learning a new jargon, a new language, you know, but I maintained my Laughastè, and it literally helped me because I had to laugh and learn, and laughter helps to expand your brain. It helps to retain information when you are laughing and you are learning. So the Laughastè spray was my sense of security. So when I say, you know, it really does help you to feel safe and shift your emotions, because it actually does it in the brain. And I have been saying that for years, since I started making a Laughastè spray, but I was avoiding saying the scientific terms, the technical terms, because I also felt like you don't even use words like that for real. Because, from hood to healing, my vocabulary is not as expansive as people may think it is, because I utilize my own words. I make up a lot of things to compensate for not learning certain words. I'm not even going to cap no more. I don't got a chakra cap. That was also part of me having a gift of gab, being able to sound as if I'm very educated, which I am. I'm not taking away from anything. I'm very smart, well educated, very versed, but small words, limbic. The limbic system, the limbic part of the brain. Like, it's things like that will show you, oh, I can still have room for growth in my life. So I say this to say, wherever you came from, wherever you started, it doesn't stop you from flowing where you want to be going, and be growing. And it also comes to my mind, the meme, hey, that nigga over there want to learn a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that meme? Hey, that nigga over there want to grow and expand. Because in the hood, as melanated people, I can't talk about what go on in other people's household. But in black folks, sometimes it's so unfortunate, that when you want to be smart or be a nerd or be a geek, it can be frowned upon, because you got a lot of people that don't have, not, and I'm not talking down on black people. I'm not even trying to put our business out there or say anything about that. But, I know for a fact, well, let me speak just for myself. When you sound very well educated and you sound like you are talking in a way that could be smart but you're not, it offends people. Just use a big word. Say something like complicated, vegan. Like, these words are triggering to people. Mental health, well-being, so and those just basic words, I'm saying, salad. So you now using words like neuroplasticity, cognitive functioning skills, behavioral skills, environmental support, and being able to use these words confidently, despite the fact that it could be making other people around you feel some type of way. Your light irritates people's demons, and it's not just about demonic ways where they hate you, they loathe you. It can be your intelligence. It can be the way you speak, your knowledge. It can be the fact that you just want to be a better version of yourself, that you don't want to be present in the conditions of the hand that has been dealt to you. You like, no, I'm about to go in and mix this deck up. I'm about to play and give myself a new hand of life. And it mess with other people. Let's see what card pulled up right now. Prospect. It can have people worried. Like, I know people was like, they thought I was possessed. They thought that the devil had got me, that I was undergoing a lot of different things when I started making these changes at the age of 28, 30, going through my Saturn return. So here I am 40, and I look back, thank you God that I allowed myself to make those changes. But where I am at now, I still realize that there's more changes that need to take place, and I'm okay with that. I'm forever and always going to be changing, and we all are. You cannot get complacent with your growth. So, yeah, anyway, let me get back to what I was saying, because I went on a little tangent, but everything come together like butt cheeks. Everything always come together like butt cheeks. But, sometimes when I'm learning these words, the first word that I learned, not the first word. That sounds hilarious. But one word that I learned in regards to like Laughastè in the flow that I'm putting together. My Oowee somatic anchor. Everything that I'm doing is what they call a so I'm a see, there it go. I don't use it enough. If you don't use it, you lose it. And this is why your environment can keep you stagnant. You got to be around people. You got to have mentors. You got to have the spaces and places be conducive to who you are becoming, not who you are now. Because I don't be around enough people who utilize certain vocabulary words of where I want to grow and expand. I'm not even going to cap. And this goes back to superior, the very first word. This is because I want to grow and expand and become a better version of myself. Don't mean that I'm better than the people who I've met on certain parts of my journey. I'm just better than certain situations, and saying certain things like I'm broke or it's out of my control. So anyway, let me get this word, because I'm a proprietary. Oh my goddess. See how it's going down? See how it's going down? Priority. Nope.
Proprietary.
Oh, I didn't want to have to ask Google, but I had to ask her anyway. One more time.
Proprietary.
It's the 2 P's for me. Woo, it's the 2 P's for me. Proprietary. Because I am creating proprietary flows. Proprietary just means you're the owner. Proprietary refers to processes of information exclusively owned and controlled by an individual or business, protected by patents, copyright, or trademarks. And that's so important for me to know that I have a proprietary flow. My game is proprietary. Everything that I do, that's governing your intellectual property. So if I'm not talking to people who talk about intellectual property, proprietary, prosperous, provision, and these type of things, like, which is not even that big of a deal, but it's that big of a deal when you come from an environment where people don't even use words like wellness. We have a body, but we don't know nothing about it. So, proprietary. And I'm not embarrassed to say it, honey. Proprietary. Yes, Laughastè yoga is a proprietary yoga flow that I created. Laughastè is a proprietary somatic laughter infrastructure that I have created. Look at that, honey. See how we just did that on the HEALariously podcast? That is so hilarious. And it was healing. And I'm grateful for it, but it also takes me back to, Laughastè, the spray, because when I'm spraying it right now, I'm smelling, I'm inhaling the actual scent. The scent is helping me to feel calm and not get overstimulated by the fact that, it takes repetition. It takes consistency to get it done. And within that process, I want to stay grounded. I don't want to feel frustrated to the point where I want to give up. So, the base notes in Laughastè is grounding, essential oils. It got some vanilla, it got some lavender, a little bit of patchouli to assist to feel that grounding, that earthly essence that you need to feel safe and calm while you're learning, And then, when I am feeling really energized and feeling overstimulated, my senses are like, I'm on 10. Let me just relax a little bit and be present so I can focus. I'll spray it. And it's balance in a bottle. It's a multi-dimensional spray. Have you gotten yours today? I need that Laughastè spray. Oowee, let me Laughastè. But anyway, we about to wrap it up like a universal condom, honey. I'm telling you right now, I've been on here a long time. My throat chakra is active. But yes, it's been real hilariously healing. This episode is going to be released Monday, 5:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think the end didn't get cut on here. So I'm about to wrap it up like a universal condom. It's been real hilariously healing and high vibrational, ratchet, raw, and authentic. But I'm going to call y'all back. Laughastè.